Hello there, and a very warm welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. How the devil are you? Well, thank you. Thank you for actually being here, and thank you for taking a moment or two out of your busy lives to actually listen to yours truly as he whitters on for the next few minutes on this channel. But what I wanted to do in this introduction video is tell you a little bit about myself, who I am, a little bit about Planning Geek, and why the heck am I running a YouTube channel? So please stay tuned um, and enjoy the next few minutes. Let me explain. So, my name, if we haven't met before, is Ian Walmsley, and I'm the founder of Planning Geek. It's as simple as that. Planning Geek has been running for about 7 or 8 years now. And if I'm brutally honest with you, I'm quite proud as to what it's become. We're actually used by an awful lot of people. We have something in a region of 100,000 unique visitors per month, which isn't too shabby. Um, and because they tell us, we're actually used by a fair number of local authorities within England. And so we're actually quite proud of the fact that so many people actually, follow Planning Geek. Maybe you're in the Facebook group with over 17 odd thousand people. Maybe not, but I'll put a link to that in the description below. But Planning Geek is not just about the website. It's not just the fact that a website exists. It's not about a Facebook group or anything else. It's not really just about me. And so I started Planning Geek to essentially simplify the very complex planning rules and make them accessible to everyone. And that includes you. Prior to 2016, 2017, a lot of it was rather inaccessible if you could find it, um, and was, well, full of gobbledygook, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Um, there was a lot of misinformation on the interwebby, and if I'm honest, there still is. So you've got to be very careful as to the information that you take your knowledge from. We now live in a world of AI, and yes, if we put into Google, we put in something that we're searching for, the first few lines will be Google coming back to you, or whichever search engine you're using will come back to you with a bit of AI in what it thinks is the best answer. Well, please, test that information out because that is not always accurate. Just recently, there was somebody posted on a Facebook group or something like that saying, a fact about planning, and it's simply the fact that AI had got it wrong. So yeah, just be careful where you get your information from. And I've always wanted Planning Geek to be a trusted resource, just providing expert advice on the UK planning system. Simple as that. But it's more than just that. It's a passion of mine. And my passion, I guess, is just to help people achieve their property goals without getting lost in bureaucracy. Um, and I just want to educate and empower people with the knowledge to be able to handle planning permission confidently. Now, you don't have to use Planning Geek to submit your applications. We're not asking that at all. And I've got many architects, and in fact, quite a few architects, for example, have actually engaged me and paid me for my time to educate them on the planning system. And if you're one of them, then thank you, because I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy educating others as to how you can do things yourself. Okay, sometimes I would recommend speaking with a planning professional because it's not always as simple as knowing as to the height of a fence to erect. You don't need a planning sort of person to tell you how to do that. It's a case of following the guidance and following the height required on fences or whatever it might be. but that's all on Planning Geek. Um, so what's this channel for? Who's this channel for, should I say? Well, homeowners, businesses, developers, architects, other professionals. In fact, if you are dealing with planning issues or have a property where you may need to use planning, you want to perhaps extend a residential dwelling, perhaps you want to extend an HMO or even a business. A lot of this can be done under permitted development. And during these videos in the weeks and months ahead, I'm going to be breaking down a lot of the technical planning jargon into simple, actionable advice. It's as simple as that. And yes, you will see the odd pair of sunglasses. It's rather become a logo of mine. And we're probably the only company that will send a letter to the local authority with a pair of bright red sunglasses in the top right corner. So it says exactly who we are, but it's a logo. And yeah, it's a logo that people represent. And if you've ever been to one of my talks, when I first speak at an event, quite often I will give away pairs of sunglasses. But it's a branding, and I'm very much into my branding. But enough of that. So how can I help you? How can I help you as whether you're an individual or whether you're a homeowner, business or whatever? So as I say, I want to demystify a lot of the planning rules. I want to break it down into plain English. I want to help you avoid common mistakes. I want to save you money. Honestly, I want to save you money because if you put in an application and get it wrong, you're going to have to pay those planning fees again now. There's no free goes anymore. So I want you to avoid common mistakes. I would say a fair chunk of people that engage me for my time have been poorly advised or have gone down the wrong rabbit hole, if you like, and done something wrong. Not their fault by long and chalk. Often it's a third party. I just want to save them money. I mean, for example, community infrastructure levy. At the time of recording, in the last month, I've saved over £10,000 for a couple of people who had bills in effect from the local authority for thousands of pounds. And following my advice, then yes, they were able to local authority. We got them to resubmit forms, and the local authority wrote back and said, "Your debt is now zero." And you can appreciate the difference that's made to their lives, knowing the fact that they don't have this worry of this massive great bill, which can be thousands, if not tens of thousands, so easily. But it's not just about SIL. Permitted development. We've all heard about permitted development, and if you haven't, I will explain it. But I will explain what you can build without planning permission, without having to go anywhere near the local authority if you don't want to. I'm going to be doing step-by-step guides, real life case studies. So I'll be looking at real life examples of where we have helped clients get permission, either just through my advice or through an application, but we'll go through them. I'm going to keep you updated. So if the current government or future government, depending upon when you actually watch this video, alter the planning rules, I will bring the information to you. Now, if I don't have the full knowledge of something, I will bring somebody in to give that guidance. I'm quite happy to bring guests in, and that will be a part of this channel, bringing guests in who have other expert knowledge. So that may well be an architect, it may well be a highways engineer, whatever it might be, I will bring people in. And it won't just be about planning as well. This is not going to be all about planning. Yes, I've got Planning Geek, and planning is the main theme here, but we'll be talking about an awful lot of other property things, an awful lot of other things. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I used to have a podcast called Property on Fire. Well, the good news is, folks, Property on Fire is coming back on YouTube. So I'll be having my rants on a regular basis, and I do enjoy my rants, if I'm honest. Um, but I will be relaunching my podcast, so I will be answering your questions both on the podcast and on other videos. So if you do have questions for me, put them in the comments below, and ask me anything to do with planning or property or anything you like. I will answer as many of those questions as I physically can on future videos, guaranteed. But if you're a homeowner, what can you expect? Extensions, loft conversions, outbuildings, garden rooms, driveways, drop curb, the list goes on. Perhaps you're in a conservation area or a listed building. How do you deal with that? I mentioned earlier about fences and walls. What are the limits? What can you do and where can you do them? And what happens if you do things and you think, did I need planning for that? Well, if you did, I will go through. We'll talk about retrospective planning application, lawful development certificates. When do you need them? And perhaps when you do not need them. Do you need planning for Airbnbs? We're touching on that. We're now in a period for solar panels and renewable energies. All these things will be covered, but we'll also be dealing with conversion. So perhaps you're a business or a developer. Are you looking to convert commercial businesses, buildings, sorry, into other properties? Do we want to convert them into HMOs perhaps, or to flats, or even to houses? Do we want to use a fallback position? All this and more we will be dealing with on this channel. So we'll be looking at Class MA, we'll be looking at Class Q, Class R, Class M, N. And if these letters mean absolutely nothing to you, then they will do in the weeks and months ahead. But, I'm not expecting people to watch every single video. No, there's no need to. Because some of the videos will be purely, if you're not going to be converting a commercial building, yeah, you probably don't need to watch that video, but other videos will be. So, you know, feel free to subscribe to the channel, um, because then at least you'll be told, and yes, ring the bell or whatever it is. Um, yeah, you can set it for no notifications, and when I release a video, then yeah, the software will tell you. But look, there's going to be an awful lot of information that I'm going to be bringing to you, and I could read through the whole list I've got here, and we'll probably be here for another hour or two just going through them. So, look, what I want to say is it won't just be me. I will be having guests. I will be having guests onto the channel, so I'll be doing some interviews. I'll be working through examples and how they can help you in property, and how you can use third parties. But I'll be doing Q&As. I'll be doing case studies. I'll be, getting rid of some of the myths and misconceptions about planning and property. And trust me, there's an awful lot of those. I'll be going behind the scenes. I'll be doing all this and more in the channel in the weeks and months ahead. So, look, if you've got this far, a big thank you. A big thank you for listening, even if that has been at 1.5 times. I don't mind. I really don't mind. Um, but look, please do subscribe if you want. There's no pressure. There's no pressure to subscribe whatsoever. But what I do look forward to is actually being here on the next video and helping you on both your property and your planning journey. So a massive thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great week.